Hey everyone, Fierce here. Today we will be talking about the magic system within Hytale. We don't have much information on this topic, so delving deep into it should be quite interesting. Hope you enjoy. If you do, as always, like the video and consider subscribing. With that said, let's get into it. So as I said, we don't really know all that much about Hytale's magic system. We do know that it will be in the game, of course, and that you will be able to cast spells from books, but apart from those two things, we don't really know anything about the system. However, we have had a glimpse at another system that will certainly come into play within the game: mana. Mana has been shown to be a stat within the game, similar to health. It is also likely going to regenerate over time, as there is a stat dedicated to what appears to be mana regeneration. Now, I have multiple theories on about how mana will work within the game. The most popular theory about how mana will work is that it will be something that will be deducted whenever you use magic. Different spells will cost different levels of mana, so if you cast a large number of spells in one stint, you would need a lot of mana. Powerful spells would cost a large amount of mana, and if you didn't have enough, it just wouldn't cast. This is likely how mana works within the game, but I do have another theory on this topic which I think is slightly less likely, but a lot more interesting. The theory in question is the theory that instead of being something that you have to cast spells, it is something that dictates how powerful a spell will be. As an example, say the person using the purple spellbook in this video had a mana level of 3. If they had a mana level of 5, the spell might have killed the skeleton in one shot instead of 2. However, one problem with this system is that it makes mana regeneration kinda worthless. Why the heck would you need to regenerate mana if casting spells doesn't lower your mana level? Also, there already appears to be a stat for calculation of magical damage. For these reasons, I don't think that this will be mana's function within the game, and for the rest of the video, we'll simply be making the assumption that the first theory on how it will work is the correct one. However, this doesn't mean that my first theory doesn't have its flaws. I say my, but like everyone who has talked about magic within Hytale has mentioned this. One thing is the fact that mana looks to have a limit of 1 in this image. This could be because the player hasn't leveled up their mana stat and as such only has access to a max level of 1. But this player appears to be fairly late game considering they have a legendary item in their inventory, namely the iconic fire sword. Although this could be due to the fact that this was all set up in a creative world to showcase the crafting system, but I'm not sure. Perhaps the mana could be measured in decimals as opposed to whole numbers. Also, just as a quick mention, you know the epic sword from the first postcard? Well, it appears to be craftable. I know this doesn't fit into the theme of the video or this segment, but I just felt like saying it. Now, let's talk about wands and staves. We know that they will be in the game. We saw a staff in the most recent postcard, and both staves and wands are in this piece of concept art. We've probably seen both of them in other images and pictures, but I just don't remember. Now, we already know that spellbooks will cast spells, so what purpose will staves and wands serve? Well, I have a theory. So, the spell that they cast will be dependent on the spellbook that you have in your hotbar. If you have more than one spellbook in your hotbar, the game will just select the one closest to the staff or the wand. For example, if you have a staff in slot 1 and a red spellbook in slot 3 and a purple spellbook in slot 5, when you use the staff, it will cast the spell from the red book as it is closer to the staff in your inventory. Anyways, staffs will act as an enhancer for spells. The spell that is cast will deal more damage, the amount depending on the type of staff it is. While staffs will increase the potency of a spell, I think wands will make spells cheaper. They would operate the same way as staffs, however, instead of making spells more powerful, it would reduce the mana cost. So, depending on the type of wand, it would reduce a percentage of the mana used to cast a spell. With that said, guys, thank you very much for watching. Again, if you did enjoy, do leave a like, and consider subscribing. Also, if you've made it this far, leave a comment down below telling me how I can improve. With that said, I've been Fierce Toast, Verified Queeb. Have a nice day.